get a sneak peek? Aren't those awesome? Just kidding. So anyway, now I'm going to talk about the aftercare in post-op and how you should take care of yourself and your titties. I stayed in LA for a week, about 6 days, but I was okay to fly back to New York. You need someone to pick you up because you're gonna be loopy as hell, and you actually can't use your arms for like 2 to 3 days. So my instructions after I left were to massage the breasts. I did 40 reps of like top, 40 reps of the bottom, 40 reps of both at the same time for each 3 times a day. So I did that, and what that helps is the drop and fluff phase, where the implant will eventually drop and fluff out the breast on the bottom. Dr. Kim actually speaks about this.
So the breasts go through a lot of changes. In the beginning they get really swollen. The swelling lasts for about a month, so they'll look a little bit bigger than what you expect. And then over the next few weeks the swelling comes down, they look a lot more normal. The shape looks a little bit nicer, and then over time they actually will get bigger over the course of a year because they'll go through what some people call a drop and fluff phase. So the weight of the implant will cause the skin to stretch the bottom of the breast, so they'll slowly descend. And in the beginning, especially when we're going bigger, there's not a lot of room for the implant, so the implant's being squished. Over the course of a year, the skin stretches and it allows the implant to expand out, so your cleavage gets better as the implant is able to get more width, and then they get rounder and bigger because the implant is fully expanded. That's the drop and fluff.
So now I want to talk about the risks and complications that can come with breast augmentation. There's a really long list of these risks. Okay, anyway, there's a really long list at Dr. Kim's office, and I am not gonna lie to you, I was like super scared. But I did do my research ahead of time, and I did read that the most common complication is capsular contracture. That was definitely in the list. So the general risks of surgery in general are healing issues, bleeding, infection in the breast implants, scarring, excessive firmness, and then there are ones that are particular to breast augmentation surgery, such as after I signed these forms, I actually thought like I had to take a bunch of like vitamins and like supplements. So then I researched on my own on Google, which is something you should not do. I was like buying things like branched chain amino acids. I was like vitamin C. I was like multivitamins. I bought them all, and it was like over $100 from like Whole Foods. And then to find out after I emailed my doctor, he was like, you can't take supplements for like 3 weeks because there could be an increased risk of bleeding, internally and externally. So always ask your doctor about your decisions about healing before you do them, because I made that mistake. I could have seriously like wound up in the hospital because I bled or something. So do not be your own doctor because you ain't got the freaking credentials for that, okay? I asked him if there were any supplements I could take. He said no, but the one that he did approve was the natural supplement called Arnica. So the Arnica helps reduce swelling, bruising, as well as alleviate the pain as well. I got them from Whole Foods, and it was like 5 pellets, and you like place it under your tongue like 3 times a day. And I was very, very, very diligent with that because your boobs after are gonna look extremely swollen. You're gonna be like, why did I just get size F boobs? So when I was post-op, my breasts were like out to here, like literally, and it was like up to my chin, it felt like I definitely had like D-sized tits, boobs. Is it appropriate for me to say tits if I'm a woman? You should avoid eating garlic because apparently it actually increases bleeding. I don't know why, but it does. Be expected to not do a lot of things for like 3 weeks. You'll be in recovery. It was like a blissful moment for me. It was kind of annoying to like not do anything. And my boyfriend definitely wanted to kick me out of the house because he had to do everything, and I felt really bad. But milk it. Just kidding. Okay. But it was nice because I'm known to like overwork myself a lot, so to have these 3 weeks to like relax and chill and kind of take a different spin on my blog, watch TV, catch up on some shows, it was actually really nice. It was kind of like a staycation vacation, and it was something I actually really needed. Also, the fact that I chose to do this surgery in LA was great because the weather was so amazing. So when I was able to start walking, I was able to do so outside, like without pain and in really great weather. The first 7 days, you have to sleep on a recline. So let's say this is the bed and you're gonna have to prop a lot of pillows up so your back is here and here's the bed. That way you can reduce the pain as well and you don't move the implants too much. I thought that this was going to be impossible because I am an avid side sleeper, but surprisingly my body was able to do that because I was so tired and it needed to heal and I was in pain. I was on pain meds and muscle relaxers, which actually helped knock me out so I could sleep in this position. After 7 days, you sleep on your back and can change from the recline to extremely flat like this. And you actually have to sleep on your back for 3 months before you can start sleeping on your side again. Otherwise, if you sleep on your side, you can actually injure the muscle, which will delay healing. It also might warp your breast, and you don't want that, especially after you spend so much money on it. So the average cost of a breast augmentation surgery in the New York City area can range from like $4,000 to $6,000, some being like $9,000. In Florida, you can get a breast augmentation surgery for like as little as like $3,000, and I think I've even heard a bizarre number as like $800 to $1,000, which I highly do not recommend. You want someone who will be paid because their work is good and that it speaks for itself, and you would want to invest in something as precious as your body and you don't want any mishaps. So my cost with Dr. Kim was $8,100. He's obviously on the higher end of plastic surgeons and the price of breast augmentation, but I really fell in love with this work, and I thought like you should not be cheap about any kind of surgery. So I decided to go to the best of the best, and someone who was obviously confident enough to display on social media and his website that he was good. And he has 5 stars on Yelp, so I feel like you can't get better than that. I've also known a couple of large influencers and models who've actually went to him, and I loved their results. So it was kind of like a no-brainer for me. Be prepared for other costs. Like, I have 2 dogs, I can't walk them, so I have to pay for a dog walker every day for the next like 2 months. If there's like a bully dog out there, then they might pull, and you don't want my boob to pop out and into a dog's face. Ugh, graphic. Okay. So after 2 weeks of consultation, you can start to apply scar gel to reduce the appearance of the scar, flatten the scar, and let it heal a little bit quicker. So the scar therapy gel that I'm using is the Silogen, and they sold it right at the office. They have it also available on Amazon, and apparently it's one of the best in the market. At first, like, my cheap self was like, oh my god, that's like so expensive. But I'm like, bitch, you just spent like $8 grand on your surgery, so you need to not skimp out on how it heals or anything really about it. I've been diligent. I've been applying a very thin layer twice a day at the 3rd week mark after showering. And then also I got a little bit of like stretch marks on like the side of my breast, just because, you know, the skin is stretching literally. So I've been using Palmer Skin Therapy Oil to kind of apply on the side. It has a more natural way to reduce the stretch marks. Also, you have to buy sports bras that zip up in the front. That'll be comfy because you will live, breathe, eat, and sleep in them for 3 months. For the first month, you have to wear it like every day. You need to bring it before your surgery. They can put it on you. I actually bought 2 so that when one gets really dirty because you're like sweating and your dead skin's in it and it's gross, you can clean it, and while it's drying you can wear the other one. You have to buy 1 size larger than what you are already. So I was a medium, so I bought like a large because your breast size will be much bigger. Get it? I highly encourage you to invest in the best healing products, the best surgeon, and the best area, I guess, to have it in, and be ready to not do anything for like 3 to 4 weeks.